I would have said, nah, man, that's a loss. It's a free L. But from this year on, he has actually really leveled up his game on these enchanters.
Yeah, it does mean, though, for CFO operating in team fights, they really need to be careful on how they use these like double ultimates on the Ornn and the Nami, because Braum can get a ton of value on them in team fights, and especially when I'm looking at KT.
Level 1 blue buff Nami, that's what we're moving towards.
I mean, this Worlds has a lot of symmetry with 2017 Worlds. You know, you have T1.
Don't tell me that. That was a terrible.
It was, because Arden Sensors, we see a Scuttlecraft fight. Peter putting the Unbreakable down, is going to get knocked up, almost falls, but dashes away. Junja dashes in with the audacious charge, manages to pick up the kill, able to survive as well, but Dogdam dashing forward for it. Hongkyu's going to have to flash the wall, but Cuz is on the chase. The Wukong finds the kill in the jungle, 2-1 KT. For the moment, KT in a really strong spot in this early game, about 1,000 gold ahead. First Drake at 6 minutes, stacking those up. And we talked about one-item spikes for KT. Having this small early game lead just accelerates you towards them even quicker. And that's why I like early dragon stacking, because you know it's going to smite it to get the first one. KT can look to see if they want to take the fight because of the push up towards that top side. They will force Junja back. Weaver's Wall coming out. Seismic shove, crescent guard from Junja as he looks for the re-engage. Second grub secured there. It's CFO that get it. The fight continues as BDD looks for some damage from the side between worlds. Goes Hongkyu, dives onto the backline with the Cyclone. Already takes down one. Doggo so late to this battle. Cuz looking for that flash across the wall and dashes to the grubs. Call to the Forge God from Driver. Lands the knock up onto 2, but he's so low. Gets another double knock. Unbreakable is not enough to stop Driver. And Hongkyu forcing another kill in. Dogdam starts to turn onto Doggo. Flashes across the Aqua Prism. BDD still so healthy. Hongkyu trying to dissuade the enemy mid from getting on towards his backline. Cuz going in. Driver escapes. Doggo does 2. Kaiwing does 2. And somehow Hongkyu gets his way away. Dogdam still looking for more. Hongkyu dodges away, and in the end, Peter and Junja, and Hongkyu, as the Drake taken by Cuz. And CFO, it's spectator sport at the moment as the flash comes in with the Winter's Bite. Junja with a crescent guard, but look at the damage coming out from KT right now. They'll find 2, Junja force low. CFO trying to respond, but Doggo and Kaiwing are forced away.
KT looking confident in these early skirmishes.
Once again, he's just pushing on that bot side, has the TP advantage. If no one's going to answer, they're just going to get the tower.
And I think that's where CFO needed to pull the trigger faster. Now it's Driver who might get caught.
A little bit, uses the Bella's Breath, gets the knock up onto the Braum. Aqua Prism coming across, Unbreakable down, Doggo Valkyrieing in as Driver's forced to flash away. And KT with a TP are going to have a 5v5 in a second. Tidal Wave out, Cuz looking for that second Cyclone, lands it. Doggo caught out first. The equalizer on the backline, Nami has to flash away. BDD finds him with an unraveled Earth through Hongkyu, trying to get in to the backline to get damage on Peter. He'll find one, but he's burnt where he stand. Roast rabbit for dinner for Perfect as KT once again come out on top in the fight.
Yeah, KT come out on top again. This time CFO tried to really punish Peter there, but as he got bubbled, he throws up the wall. Doggo Valks in, and they immediately turn to punish him.
Need to see large rod, but no ultimate right now as KT are going to fight around this Drake. It's a bit of a flank from BDD. The Weaver's Wall could split the team. Junja looking for the poke. Driver going in. Bella's Breath popped. As the poke from CFO landing a little bit more. Hongkyu, though, gets the weirding onto Perfect. BDD on that flank position, coming in through the bot side. The knock back with the Blast Cone pushes Hongkyu into the face of BDD. The Drake down to 1,000, secured by Junja. Goes in with the Crescent Guard, heals up with the Sundered Sky, flashes away and somehow survives. Driver knocked back with the Seismic Shove. He'll pay for it with his life. The equalizer on the backline, though, is going to find another. Peter looking for more with the Winter's Bite. And the stun on Hongkyu allows Dogdam to get his second.
The ultimate cooldown was up ever so slightly faster for CFO, but as KT's tick down, CFO fall down with them.
Yeah, I mean, KT, I think, just slow played that so well because they were barely missing the ultimates from Perfect and Cuz. So they didn't want to hard commit to a fight prior to that. A great smite steal from Junja does save that from being a complete disaster.
Chase under the tower. Doggo falls first. The turret falling low. Dogdam was taken out by the tower with Doggo's assistance, but KT in the end do find the kill. TP coming in as Driver looks for a flank position here. Does have the call of the Forge God.
That's where CFO can try and find these picks. Now, it's not easy, but definitely this is a team that will find them, but I think they're getting caught.
Man, this frontline Braum, I'm loving it. Glacial Fisher onto 2. The Oysters are falling as KT collapse. Driver stunned up, put another pearl on the necklace. KT as 2 more Oysters fall.
And Peter just blast cones himself in there. He's saying, we don't have a gauge. We don't have a gauge. Are you seeing this game? Peter is just flashing in on CD. And this time doesn't have the flash, but he has got no problems at all
up towards this top side. Third Drake will go over to KT. CFO just trying to get every bit of gold they can in their pockets before the Baron spawn in 2 minutes' time.
Yeah, and KT even denying that push in the top side, even if it is with the Ornn.
As KT look for the push in mid, Weaver's wall being used as well, and CFO just forced away from defending their own objectives, their own towers. Honku looking for the weirding, won't find too much more out of it as Peter's able to retreat. The tier 2 falls for KT.
Yeah, small little advantage there, but Doggo did get the Cyclone out. They did get Peter low.
Especially as an Ezreal who, although he is at 3 items, doesn't have that huge crit chance, doesn't have a huge amount of damage as they find the pick here onto Peter. Tidal wave down. Peter's going to stand beside his teammate, but Honku puts him in his place. CFO find the pick. TP coming out from Perfect. Honku looking for a little bit more. Cyclone from Cuz just to try and distract and dissuade the engage from CFO, but a great knockback onto Ginger means that Cuz goes on a rampage. Driver now on the retreat with the rest of the Oysters, but KT are not letting them escape easily. Doggo onto Dogdam! 80 for 80 and Honku adds another onto that receipt. It's 2 so far. Driver retreats. KT still looking for more as Cuz and BDD step forward, but do they have the damage? Do they have the gap closing to catch up with CFO?
This is exactly what we were talking about. CFO finding their moment. A pick onto Peter.
Break begun by KT. CFO walking into fog of war, and war it shall be. Equalizer on the backline. Driver stepping forward. Tempting secured the soul for KT, but is the fight going in their favor? A great flame spitter from Perfect with that Seekers goes golden, but then goes pop. CFO find one. The dive in from Cars onto Driver. They'll get one in response. Ginger forced away. A weirding from Honku, but BDD's on the flank. As he looks for the damage, can't quite find it with that threaded volley. CFO being shepherded down towards this bottom side. Ginger looking for the engage. Doggo dived on, pops the barrier, but then it's put in the dirt. The dive as well from BDD. KT split the fight, find 5 in the end.
KT wipes CFO off the map. They get the soul.
9.5k ahead when they secure this Baron. But CFO, you are walking wounded, you are limping. But perhaps you can find some sort of first aid to get you back in the game.
And then corral them into position where they can knock them down. Towers falling now for KT, and it feels like that base is surely going to follow soon.
CFO, 5 players trying to defend this top lane at tier 3. KT with the Baron for the next 2 minutes.
Base.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the play. Just try and force CFO back. They don't have the Weaver's Wall quite yet to sync up with it. Maybe they want to wait for the next wave, but like that's 30 seconds, and oh, here we go.
Diving from Ginger, flash call to the fourth drop from Driver, get the knock up! Oh, Driver, that was gorgeous, but on the back line! Perfect, and Cuz dive in with the Cyclone, they find 2 for it. CFO pulled the trigger, but KT's reaction was absolutely sublime. They'll wipe away CFO. Honku can only stand and watch as K2 push in for the win.
Blink and you'll miss it. KT jump onto the back line, and they immediately turn towards the Nexus.
Honku is hopping around, but there's not really much he can do in the face of 4 from KT. Cuz gives him a love tap as the Nexus falls, and KT go 1-0 up in this quarterfinal.
It's a great start here for KT. First win on the board.
Yeah, and I have to say, KT in game number 1, the team is looking very well-rounded. Everybody kind of firing on all cylinders. Imagine banning 3 mid laners versus BDD and still giving him Talia.
Front to back team fighter than this Kai'Sa, but Nautilus actually going to be the pick in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of more standard. That is kind of the LCK style, even if some of these enchanters, are strong in certain situations. This does give them so much engage, so much scaling. It just feels like KT have drafted pretty much 4-5v5.
He's on the way. Can Honku avoid this? Peter, well, does he just want to invest the flash? BDD's so
Peter's
low!
just gonna look for the flash hook underneath the tower, but it's not gonna be enough damage from Honku. Still able to flash away. Summoners exchanged between the North and the Azir.
Nice roam from Peter.
He uses the heal for him as well. Now BDD's gonna flash just to kill Kaiwing. Flash heal wasn't enough. That's really well done from KT. Honku perhaps a little greedy staying around.
For the Trundle, I mean, Peter's already in position to try to jump on him.
Dogdam just hit 6 as well. Dredgeline in from Peter. Ginger here, look and see if he can find a pillar, but you don't really want to take this fight. You're at a disadvantage in terms of ultimates, and KT will just secure their first Drake of the game. Again, around that 7-minute mark. It's really early from there.
And what a lovable player he is. I mean, this is his first time, flying. If you haven't watched some of his interviews, do yourself a favor, go watch some. He is Just a treat.
Great hook again onto Gen.G. Is going to put the subjugate down, flash forward from Perfect. Death charge onto Hongyu as well, but Gen.G already put in the dirt. The Troll King is down. Rest trying to collapse, but CFO forced away. Should be 3 grubs to KT. No smite for CFO. Doggo's moving across, but actually looks like KT are happy enough just taking the 2. They'll let this grub reset. Cuz can just wait around. It's like, okay, my smite's going to come back up in a couple of seconds' time. KT will get the 3rd.
Yeah, the longer CFO contest here, the more they're losing on that bottom side. That's a wave that's completely gone, and Gen.G has just had 0 chance to have an impact in this game.
And that is a summoner down for the KT mid.
And something that could be exploitable. 45 seconds until the Dragon. You could end up looking for him, especially with someone like Kaiwing. But there we go!
Depth charge! They get the knock-up. The quickness comes out, but it's not in time. Peter claims the kill, calling Captain Hook.
In his favor, with that first item already completed, it is still KT winning.
And it's feats. 12 minutes in, 3 objectives to none, 3 kills to none. And you've already got the upgraded boots coming out, the Ionian cooldown boots for BDD being upgraded. They're going to set up around this red buff. Do CFO
Don't do it,
know?
Gen.G.
No.
Oh, Gen.G. He starts up the red. There's the hook, and Gen.G in the jungle sent to an early grave. A 4th for KT. They ruled the rift.
I mean, this is just the vision playing off of that. They have been controlling this jungle so incredibly well.
Then go for the lanes because Gen.G's then behind, and it makes it so difficult for CFO to actually answer for any of these plays because they are always at a man disadvantage.
And who is it for KT that's getting fed out of this early game? It's BDD in that mid lane. 2K ahead has been involved perhaps at this world, so he can really take that step to the upper echelons.
Yeah, the only man on this team who's been to that semi-final, hoping to take the rest of them there and the organization for the first time, but it's Rest who needs to get out of here.
Exhausted there for a second. Spell shield coming out from Dam and Tofo Q3 going wide, but it's just going to be another tower for KT. They know they can force Rest away, take the turret, their 2nd of the game, and CFO have been able to stop the perfect game from happening by taking a tower of their own. But apart from that,
you know it is going to be an uphill battle, to say the very least.
Yeah, and you already highlighted the wave clear. It's a Rift Herald now as well. So you were already losing on the map. Now you doubly lose on the map, but Perfect might lose this.
Pillar coming out. There's a Killer Instinct as well with the quickness, everything invested. Perfect falls the shutdown to Doggo. A pick for CFO and a small breath of life into this game.
Because of that reset.
It's the same setup again. Rest is on his way across on the hunt, popped by Dam as they look for the chase. Depth charge onto Hongyu, everyone survived. Dodged by the Cataclysm. Hongyu not in the redemption in time. CFO lose their mid laner and now might lose the rest as they get chased down by KT. Gen.G on the flank, a 4v4 begins to erupt. It's Perfect, not TPing down yet. The redemption for KT will top them up. And in the end, they just back away.
CFO are asking, why are KT better? And it's just cause the hop over the Emperor's Divide sets up beautifully. And now with the dragon there for them as well, that's 3 dragons to their name.
I mean, that was beautiful from Cuz. Walks in, and he's basically daring you to dash away, right? He's holding the Cataclysm, he's holding the Flag and Drag.
You need to keep your eyes on at Worlds 2025 and honestly at MSIs as well. Like, this is a roster that has continued to impress on an international stage.
Yeah, I mean, some of the teams that weren't giving them respect have already been sent home. Peter's looking for another play.
Depth charge down onto Gen.G. The pillar does not really going to stop anyone getting in, but a good quickness out from Kaiwing distracts the rest of KT. Kaiwing trying to dash back, but he's taken out by Dam. 1 down so far. KT can advance. Oh, a great hook again! Peter, what are you? He constantly finds the picks, and now CFO picked apart by this Perfect Nautilus. Perfect diving in for a Ruthless Predator. The Rift Herald charge coming down. Will they look for a tier 3? Cuz begins to disengage, but they'll just get the charge in, and then Peter should be able to dredge line his way away.
And they can even go right back to the Otacon that's about to spawn here if they really want to put that pressure on. They're going to take away the jungle camps. They get the charge on another tower. It's 6k up, and yeah, they're just going to do Otacon on spawn again, because why not? Hongyu has no teleport, and he's still dead.
He goes for it again. Rest steps in front of the bullet for Doggo. The knock back onto Peter, though, now slammed into the wall, and the rest of KT unable to respond in time. Doggo diving onto the backline, and Killer Instinct flashes the barrier! Doggo gets the shutdown! Cuz Perfect and BDD still alive. Not much mana on BDD, though. They'll still be able to kill off Kaiwing. Hongyu and Gen.G need to do it all. But Hongyu doesn't have the damage, only an Ashes and a Faded Ashes at his back. KT back away.
Again, Doggo risked it all for CFO, but it falls short. KT are able to continue keeping that pressure up in the fight, and it's CFO who have to back away.
I mean, just look at the mid-jungle advantage. It's ridiculous.
4.9k between the two. The Archon has been begun by KT. CFO still looking for it. They have the Emperor's Divide if they can find a way into this fight, but Hongyu goes in, BDD pops a stopwatch, Archon secured, Kaiwing with a good quickness, finds two with a knock-up, but CFO now need to disengage. All their engage tools have been used. Cuz diving onto that backline. Cuz taken out by Doggo. Perfect looking for it as well. But this dog who let him out, Perfect, shows him where the cage is at. Puts him back to the fountain. Only Hongyu left alive. As Perfect, BDD, Dogdam and Peter collapsed. It's an ace for KT.
There's nowhere to run. There is nowhere to hide. KT are taking everything on this map. And CFO, they look confused. They look like they don't know how they're supposed to crack this.
I mean, I don't think you're cracking this game, man. It is an absolute stomp here as KT, again, know they're just at such an advantageous position. Perfect just goes straight in on the Nautilus. On the other side, you know, it's Hongyu and Kaiwing trying to find this flanking angle, but they use the redemption for the reset and then just send Cuz in. A great stun and bit of CC there to allow Doggo to finish him off, but Perfect is just too strong. No one's there to actually peel for Doggo. And again, there's just too many threats on the KT side. They're too rich.
As they try and step into the darkness, into that fog of war, the dragon resets, Rest using his health bar to try and gain purchase in the river right now, but KT keeping them at arm's length. Rest still stepping forward. The Drake how low, 7k. Kaiwing flashes for BDD, lands the quickness and the grand entrance, but with a flash away from BDD, Perfect dives in, and the chase goes in from Cuz. Cataclysm onto the backline, the Emperor's Divide from Hongyu. Everyone from KT falling below half HP, but then ow, with the redemption, they are topped up to full. For a moment, CFO looked like they may have found the fight, but the wallets are too damn heavy. KT find the 5-0 ace and will walk it down mid.
Yeah, CFO posed the question, but BDD had the answer as he has every single time this game. 100% KP for BDD, 6-0 and 15 on the Orianna as they're looking for one of the fastest games at Worlds.
Sub 25 minute, the prize for them. This roller coaster keeps on ratcheting up. KT in dominant fashion are gonna make it 2-0. The scoreline looks at BDD, but the hearts were won by Peter. KT one game away from the promised land.
KT in both Game 1 and Game 2 have come in with clear early game plans, right? Like, we're highlighting Peter's Nautilus here because he was so huge in resetting that lane for BDD.
For KT, they have the initial burst damage, and then they have the Viego looking for those resets. For CFO, they have some scaling. Wei does a lot of damage as the game goes on. They've got a bit of a tanky frontline, but so perhaps a range comp mostly?
Not able to make it happen, and honestly, lucky they managed to escape afterward. Rest doing a good job of blocking the Paddle Star from being able to connect onto the jungler.
Yeah, did a really good job to be able to block that up, but that is heartbreaking. Gen.G
Sleep onto Hongyu. BDD doesn't have a huge amount of mana. Grub's begun again by Cuz. The flash! Headbutt pulverize! Oh, Peter, take a medal, take a prize, impaled under the tower. But he takes the enemy mid laner down with him. Rest trying to come in from the side. He's going to get slept as well. A perfect nap for KT to collapse as Dogdam takes the kill. Kaiwing chased out, make it 3. KT secure the feats of warfare.
KT have woken up and chosen violence, picking off members of CFO everywhere on the map, and now they're going to move over towards their prize of these Void Grubs.
And again, it's one of these situations where sets him up for first blood, does lose his life, but Dogdam is there. They have the extra member. They get the feats of warfare, and Hongyu's just caught snoozing. He is taken down from long range. He was shopping.
The first items are coming through very quickly for KT.
Yeah, it is really looking tough already as Kaiwing gonna get spotted and Peter's looking.
The sleep again. Hongkyu's gonna have nightmares. Collapse from KT, and BDD claims his second.
The best Zoe in the world, and he's showing us why. Relentless pressure here. This red side draft just not working out at all for CFO. I mean, you look up, you gave over the Scion, you've created an 80 gold lead for the Rek'Sai at this point. It's just a nothing burger. And then down in the bot side, you have this Ziggs that was picked as an answer to this Caitlyn, and it has been just excelling throughout the entire game.
And we've talked about it so often for CFO. If Gen.G and Hongyu can be on the same page, they can do work, but KD have shut them down perfectly. Dogdam flashes away, the headshot's not enough! The Peacemaker doesn't find its mark. Gen.G flashes finally! finds the shutdown. Cuz now on the back foot, ults away with that Heartbreaker. A magical journey for Gen.G onto Peter, but a double blast cone will get them to safety. As Gen.G might try and collapse on BDD. Ishtal's impact in, catches Peter, slams him into the wall. The rest of CFO trying to collapse, but there's the trample stun, a good impale through the wall. Cuz able to flash away, asleep onto that Skarner. Paddlestar just short of connecting. Spiraling despair on BDD, Peter falling low. Hongyu finds the kill, BDD still dashing forward with the portal, jumps in the end. CFO will back away with 2. KT set up vision around the Drake, will be soul point for them, and an Infernal Soul with Ziggs and Zoe is not something you want to give over easily. Already down to 4k. Peter acting as a bouncer, Rest trying to get in, Gen.G going forward as well, but a good pulverize from Peter. The Drake stopped with a tempered fate, the Sleepy Trouble Bubble not going to hit on Doggo. The smite from Gen.G finds it, and Impale as well. Spiraling despair for KT is perfect. Forced to flash away, CFO find the fight, find 2. Rest dies onto the backline, gets a double knock. Gen.G still looking for the chase. And Satchel charge out into the flash, edge of Ishtal won't go any further with that Ishtal's impact. An ace in the hole won't be enough, but Rest still on the chase onto BDD. Forces him back underneath his tower.
KT's poke is exceptional.
Look around.
No poke lands, and Rest want to keep this going.
He slept. Satchel Charge's going to knock him back. Decimating smash there as well. Rest used the tunnel. He flashes back in, and Rest just slices them where they stand. He'll pay for it with his life. In the end, CFO turn their eyes towards the Herald.
Exactly, they're going to be able to use that pressure to go over towards the Herald. I mean, this is the other side of this style of composition.
Of those physical damage items, but it's not as much as you would like.
But for me, it's less about the gold, it's about the map control.
Sure.
Because that's really what CFO need. When you're getting down these turrets.
This Viego really needs that first reset.
Yeah.
And there's not any like point and click. You're not paired with a Syndra, an Annie, an Ahri, anything like that. So it's just everything does your poke land.
Oh my god! Oh my god, the Mega Inferno Bomb of Doom, and Gen.G overstepping Peter with a great double pulverize onto the backline, and everything hits this time. Rest tries to dive in, but is put to sleep, and all he'll see are nightmares of KT. A triple in the end for Dogdam, another sleep landing, and the chase comes out from Perfect and from Dogdam! Hongyu is not done yet. Cuz will chase him down. A Heartbreaker, a stake through the heart of CFO as KT win out the fight.
It's a taster of what CFO could have, but it's KT who are once again.
He's looking like he's got an aimbot. He's just point and click.
Peter caught with a tempered fate. And that cow might be going golden, but he is going to get skewered by CFO. The Otacon next. TP's coming out as CFO try to up the tempo. TP out from Perfect as well as KT are going to call for a fight of their own.
You've got to wait for BDD. This wall could be devastating, but he's so far away. The ultimates are flying, but Otacon is going down.
Hongyu already down to half HP. Perfect with the decimating smash doesn't land it. The Otacon should be secured here for CFO. They get it. The sleep lands, but only onto Rest. Will KT continue to chase, or will they accept that this fight is not for them?
Fantastic play from CFO. They get the pick and they just force their hand, immediately start the Otacon, rush it down. Don't allow KT to get set up. KT's comp is so weak when they're late to the fight.
And this is the scrappiness we were talking about for CFO. They don't want to give up the area. Dragon's there.
Oh, the damage onto Hongyu, spiraling despair though, into the net! And down goes BDD. Kaz on the backline gets the reset. He possesses that way, and the chase continues. Dives across the wall. Spectral Maw doesn't get the stun. Gen.G trying to retreat. Dogdam looking for that satchel. Another stun's going to land, and Rest has the flank. Dogger's there as well. Gen.G falls, and now the Skarner taken away by Kaz. Rest trying to get in, locked against the wall, and Kaiwing and Doggo leave him for the KT Wolves. They'll get the kills. They'll clean it out, and will they turn their eyes towards the Drake? They'll do that and take mid.
CFO tried to salvage the play with Doggo and Rest running as fast as they could, but it's KT who are pouncing on Gen.G and finding the kills they need to turn the play back.
I mean, it feels like it was just 2 or 3 minutes ago that we were talking about Cuz being down 1.3 gold. He got 7 kills in a row and now is up nearly 2K on this Viego. He is a problem. Has the entire LDR purchased up. They just moved towards Soul Point as well. But Cuz is such a problem. We talk about the lack of consistent damage. Doesn't feel like they have that anymore.
Honkyu's the timing! Decimating smash against the knockup. They don't kill the tower. Mega Inferno will go down as well as Hongyu takes a drive to his demise, and now KT can look for more. BDD with a paddle style doesn't quite clip Gen.G. CFO back away.
Perfect's timing on that decimating smash was just that. What a beautiful play. Catches Honkyu as he pops out of the Herald there. Peter follows up. That's the carry down.
And it was unnecessary. You didn't need to take that ride. Honkyu thought maybe he could get it, but the tower doesn't even fall off the back of it. It is a stiff breeze away from falling.
The poke is never going to come, so it's all about who can get that setup, who can control vision. And right now, it's been KT with the pushing waves, and it's them getting the much easier setup.
BDD pushing in this top side on his signature pick. This Zoe lost on it back in 2022.
One fight away from sealing the deal on their first ever World Semifinals. BDD, the only player on the team to ever make World Semis, and they're looking for a pick on Rest.
He's trying to tunnel away, but Peter uses the minion line to try and get himself towards it. There's the knockup, there's the trample, there's the drowsy, and there's Rest sent to a coffin. The CFO will use this time to push in the mid lane, though, take a tower of their own, can chase forward a little bit further. They do have cannon minion here, acing the hole onto Dogtown. Now they retreat because KT are collapsing.
But you still have BDD pushing to that bottom side, so CFO, they're not able to get the tier 2. It would be BDD who's able to pick up that objective, but CFO...
Flash from Gen.G, Impale doesn't connect, but the damage onto Cuz will stick. Meanwhile, on the backline, Doggo has to retreat. Kaiwing doing the same, Perfect still just standing as a meat wall in front of CFO. Gen.G's gonna fall first, BDD gets Honkyu, and now KT can smell their victory.
BDD arrives and CFO dies. The Baron is next on the table here. They are crushing this fight. CFO, hero steal.
Rest is in the top lane, pushing in for that tier 2, does have the teleport and will use it. The Drake down to 9,000, BDD looking to see if he can find a sleepy trouble bubble. Lands it onto Rest, he can't join the fight. Tempered Fate on the backline, Paddlestar just short. Dragon down to 4k as KT look for the soul and knock back onto Gen.G. And again, it's Peter who keeps the enemy jungler at bay. Rest dives in, but the rest of his team are distracted by the cow. Now the chase in with an unstoppable onslaught. And if that's not a name for how KT have played this series, I don't know what is. Unstoppable from KT as they march down CFO and look for the semis.
No one expected KC to be one of the teams that could push themselves forward, but at semi-finals in their eyes, their curses may be damned in this position.
For the first time ever, KT looked ahead to the World Semifinals.
And with only Kaiwing left to watch, CFO will be eliminated. A valiant stand from them. A valiant stand for the LCP, but today is KT's day. Kaiwing can do nothing but watch as KT take the Nexus towers. The Nexus next, the KT coaster keeps on climbing. For the first time in history, KT are going to semis.
With Shox at the beginning of the day, right? He's like, BDD is someone I admire so much for his resiliency. He's been around for so long, continuing to grind, and just had a phenomenal performance.